We head to Lahr, which is the town where I lived as a kid growing up when my father was posted there as part of the NATO occupational forces in the early 80s. That's going to be, kind of crazy. I haven't been back in 37 years, so it should be pretty interesting.
Yes, B, E, and F. Okay. So there. Take the next door and then walk through the middle.
Okay. Oh man.
Well, Pat, it's been a long travel day.
Yeah, man. 37 years.
Is it 37?
37 years.
37
Back
years.
in Lahr.
We made it. Right on. What time?
We made it. 5 trains, 8 hours. Slight detour, but we made it. Back in Lahr.
Awesome.
Holy moly.
Cool. That's great. Okay, we're starting our historical walking tour with a historian and a guide here in Lahr, the town Pat lived in for a few years.
Next year, it will be 30 years since the Canadian Forces left Lahr.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have lived in Germany, personally, for nearly 27 years. And I arrived in Christmas of 1995. And I can remember from that point on, every time we visited, there were a lot of discussions and worry, and the feeling, I remember this feeling of angst and uncertainty, which my parents-in-law expressed at that time. It's still very present with me. The Canadians at that stage, they'd been gone for well over 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was very fresh, and Lahr actually seemed like a ghost town. It really did to me, coming from big town Sydney. Lahr seemed like a really, nothing. The buildings were empty. People were depressed. There was a lot of concern about the economical situation, jobs. Things were closing down. It really was a ghost town. It felt that way, and that was the air. Lahr had lost its sort of central importance, its sort of focus at that point, and they had to try to redefine, as Lahr had to redefine itself at that stage. And they were looking, I mean, of course, the people in the town hall, they were already planning, but the feeling in the town amongst the people was worry.
Yeah.
The impulses that we're feeling now, the positive impulses, actually have a real lot of their roots in the presence and the things that happened during the time when the Canadian forces were here. So there's this spirit of internationalism, tolerance, open-mindedness. We had a mayor until 3 years ago, Wolfgang Muller. He said that this spirit was a gift to the town, and this is definitely what stayed with Lahr. That's enough about what I wanted to say, because that was more personal. But,
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
It means a lot. When we heard about the base closing down, and we wondered, how is that going to impact the town? And
as I
it
sensed
means
it
a lot,
directly, even though I didn't even live here. With the unveiling of this monument.
Oh wow!
And so we can show that maybe in the city somewhere. It's a kind of important spot. There's a couple of memorials which I'll show you.
That's so interesting, because as I was saying, part of this is us sort of exploring how we ended up working with First Nations in Canada and kind of unpacking our colonial history. And this is kind of a common phrase that we always use: friends, neighbors, allies, is kind of thing. This is really interesting.
I think
for the people of Lahr, it's always the comparison to the French troops who were here before and who came as enemies and as victorious in the Second World War, and then changed to NATO allies. And the
Oh.
Canadians still entered in a higher level of
Right.
connection
Oh.
because they didn't come to
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Huh.
Not to occupy.
not to occupy. Yeah.
Oh.